Please be seated. Bonjour, hello, and good morning. Welcome to our Duluth White Coat Ceremony. We finally got here. Today we are here to celebrate and honor our incoming class, future class of 2029. I am Kendra Nordgren, the Assistant Dean for Undergraduate Medical Education here on our Duluth Regional Campus, and it is my great privilege to host today's White Coat Ceremony. This ceremony is the symbolic transition to becoming a physician. Today, when you put on your white coats, you are also putting on the privileges and the responsibilities of the medical profession. Wear them well. Before I proceed with our much anticipated events, I'd like to pause for a moment for a land acknowledgement. We recognize that our Duluth Regional Campus and the University of Minnesota Duluth reside on the traditional, ancestral, and contemporary lands of the indigenous peoples. This land was cared for and called home by the Ojibwe people, before them the Dakota and Northern Cheyenne, and other native peoples from time immemorial. We stand today on land ceded in the 1854 treaty, and we recognize, support, and advocate for the sovereignty of the Native nations in this territory and beyond. This beautiful land holds great historical, spiritual, and personal significance for its original stewards, the Native nations and peoples of this region. We are deeply grateful and humbled to be here today on such sacred land. Chi-miigwech. While we are offering gratitude, I'd also like to thank, though I lost sight of him, Professor Emeritus Tom Wiegren for his amazing musical accompaniment. Fun fact, there you are. Fun fact, if memory serves correct, you were with the band Chicago back in the day. Yeah. I'd also like to extend a chi-miigwech, a very grateful thank you to our Anishinaabe drum group, who will be playing musical accompaniments throughout our program as well. I'm also going to take this moment to welcome our first-year medical students. We are so excited to have you here and have had a great week getting to know you, so welcome. And of course, no med student would be complete without their support community. So to their family, their parents, their friends, and other guests, welcome and thank you as well. Our admissions committee, we have several members here on stage and a few in the audience, are also due recognition for finding these amazing future physicians and bringing them to us for this day. And last but not least, our medical school faculty and administrators from both campuses who are joining me here on stage. We have wonderful alumni and generous scholarship donors who have helped to support many of these students before them, and students who will come. And so we welcome you with gratitude for all those who are in attendance. And I especially thank the staff of the UMD Marshall Performing Arts Center and those from our Duluth campus of the medical school whose time and energy are vital in hosting today's event. So a huge thank you to all those who helped put this on. All right, that housekeeping done, it is now my sincere pleasure to welcome to the podium Dr. Jacob Toller, the Dean of our University of Minnesota Medical School and Vice President for Clinical Affairs. Dean Toller is an internationally recognized physician scientist.
We can skip that.
Oh, come on.
All right. Good morning, everyone. How does it feel? Good, good. All right, stand up. Take a deep breath. Remember this. I'd like Round of applause for class 2029. Remember the day. Remember how it felt to be part of everyone around here. Because if you are like me and many people on the stage and many people in the audience, you didn't get here alone. You didn't get here on your own. You have had people in your family, in your community, your friends, strangers, kindness of strangers. I always depended on that in my life. There were people who opened the door for you, who were people that inspired you in ways that are somehow difficult to trace back. And I'd like you to hold in the hollow of your hand all that at the same time, because that's the kind of energy that is now in you. And it is, as I drive here from Twin Cities and I see the Lake Superior and you see these beautiful blues from the water and then the sky and then the shadows on the skies and the clouds, I'm thinking each one of you is like a little stone, little jewel that is dropped into the Lake Superior. And now you are in the waters, uncharted sometimes, of medical field and professional realization that you have not had before. And you will become somebody that's a little different in 4 years. It is our quest and it is our obligation to you and our promise to you that you will end up with the skills and the information that you need to be fine physicians. But that's not enough, because the school, this medical school, is not about informing you only. It's about forming you in somebody who is going to be sort of a better version of who you are today, better physician in the process, and better in that way. And as that little jewel drops in the Lake Superior, there is a ripple effect. And I look forward to seeing how you're going to ripple out your goodness and your qualities, your virtues, your values to your colleagues first, of course, but then your patients, your communities, the whole state, and the whole field of medicine. So this is the ripple effect that all of us are going to be watching as you go through the stages of the medical school. And as you do that, pay attention. It's easy, back to the water thing, two fish swim, young fish, and there is an old fish like me swimming the next direction and says, "Morning, guys, how's the water?" And the young fish swim, and then one turns around and says, "What the hell is water?" So there's a lot of things that is in our environment that we just don't see unless we pay attention. We habituate to this. And I think it has been really important for me. I'm a pediatric oncologist. I'm a bone marrow transplant doc. It's been really important to me to almost daily remind myself of how important it is to pay attention to what is around us, in clinic, in the OR, in the ICU, in the community, elsewhere. And so do that. And as you are doing this, pay special attention to your patients. You would, of course you would. But it is not abdominal pain in room 12. It is somebody who came to your clinic today. And this is really important to them. This may be, speaking as an oncologist, this may be one of the worst days, if not the worst day, in their lives. And it's not enough, coming back to the knowledge and the skills, it's not enough. You're certainly expected, and we will do our utmost to get you ready for the boards and everything else. It's not enough, because unless you realize that they bring with them on that morning that you see them for the first time, they bring with them their whole lives and livelihoods. Everything, their health and non-health, their emotions, their families, their people who are dependent on them, people they are dependent on. They bring it all together. And the richness of medicine, in my opinion, is in ability to combine the compassion that you would have for that, what they are bringing with them, with the elite skill based on science that you have brought to them, so that you can be effective in helping them getting through whatever they need to conquer. And as you are doing this, you will be, as I have been, a recipient of many failures. And some of them are very painful. Some of them are the ones that I remember forever. I have started when I was at the same stage you are, a little book where I write my mistakes that I made. And I come back to that. It's not a pleasant experience at all. Failures rarely are. Hopefully, you will be able to use the support of your colleagues and permissive environment of this medical school to get you to the position that you can self-correct and get better, get stronger at your weak places, because that's where you really matter. Because what comes easy to you is noise. It's important sometimes, but it's really not much of a signal. What is really important is what you have been able to overcome and how this defines who you are in the years and decades to come. So I'm deeply grateful for you choosing us. This is a good medical school. The dean is so-so, but the rest of it is perfect. So thank you. So with gratitude for the past 137 years of this medical school, 3 campuses now, you have 3 groups of colleagues, in Duluth, now year 3 and year 4 added, St. Cloud, of course, and Twin Cities. And with clear-eyed attention to the present, and with great confidence for our shared future, welcome aboard.
Well, that so-so dean of this med school might sound a lot better if he hadn't been so humble. All right, I'm also going to introduce our Duluth Regional Campus Dean, Dr. Kevin Diebel, who's going to say a few words. Dean Diebel's leadership and dedication to our mission of serving rural Minnesota and Native American communities is especially evident today as we are welcoming our first 4-year cohort of students on this campus. Dean Diebel?
All right, thank you, Dr. Nordgren. Thank you, Dean Toller, for your remarks this morning, and welcome everybody to this exciting day. I'm extremely happy and excited that you're all here, either in person or maybe watching the live stream. Welcome to everybody who's part of this community with us. So one of the things that I've asked the students to learn already this week is what year this campus was founded. Do you guys remember? 1972, yeah, they've got it. So this is the 54th entering class here in the Duluth area here. When it was first founded, this particular campus actually was an independently accredited medical school, and it was designed to be in partnership with the University of Minnesota through a recognition of the fact that there was extreme shortages in being able to provide care, particularly in rural communities. And through a legislative mandate to establish an additional campus in the state in 1969, there was some funding provided. Location was picked for Duluth Duluth to eventually open the doors as a medical school in 1972. And since the beginning of this particular campus, we have functioned as a 2-year program in order to recruit students to be able to come to this area, to then move on and transfer to do their clinical rotations with other affiliations. In 2004, the medical school actually changed its accreditation and became a regional campus of the Twin Cities Medical School, which we are currently today. And before the doors even opened, this campus was really focused on mission. And there's been 2 pillars of a mission that, no matter all the different changes that have taken place for this campus, have held their resolve and stay true as we move forward today. We are a campus that is focused on improving rural health outcomes for the state of Minnesota and for health outcomes for Native American individuals in Minnesota and beyond. And we will continue to do this as we move forward into our next adventure together. And here in August, there's always a nervous excitement. There's a sense of wonder about what new connections will be made. And there's so much work that gets done to prepare for everybody, the kind of shedding of the year before, learning from what we did in the past, and preparing for the next batch of students to come along, and how we can support and continue to grow and continue to get better at what we do. And then seemingly, honestly, it seems like out of nowhere, you guys all show up. And then all of a sudden, the campus comes to life, and it swells, and it breathes again. There's this change in metamorphosis that happens continually, from class to class, from year to year, external pressures that come into the things that we do in our workplace that then go and impact you. And what we are trying to do here is always to try to change, to rise up and meet these challenges. And the way that we do this primarily, and what I hope that you can learn, one of the things from your experience here, is that partnerships and collaborations, both locally and statewide, are essential for what we're going to be able to accomplish together. We will work together with local institutions like the College of St. Scholastica, Lake Superior College, the UMD campus. We'll work together with Twin Cities, our colleagues now in St. Cloud, Rochester, Morris, Crookston, and then of course our clinical partnerships with Aspirus, Essentia, and then all the rural healthcare providers that are going to go through your early clinical experiences, and for those that go on to RPAP, we'll provide the training for you through your required clinicals. There are literally hundreds of people eager to meet you and willing to work with you to help train you as you move forward. And most importantly as well, all of our colleagues here that are on stage, our administrators, both here locally from the Twin Cities, all of the faculty, also current students, hi April, and everybody else that's here waiting to work with you and help you move forward. And we don't just fulfill our mission by merely educating learners, but by hoping to inspire and empower the next generation of healthcare professionals who serve with compassion, integrity, curiosity, excellence, and who do this work collaboratively and supportively as a community and with the community that they serve. You'll learn from a diverse and dedicated faculty who will bring wealth of experience and deep understanding of the unique challenges faced by these communities. We recognize the importance of culturally sensitive care and the need to build trust and partnerships with the communities we serve. And to this end, you'll have the opportunity to engage with Native American leaders, healers, and community members, learning from their wisdom and incorporating their perspectives into your practice. You'll also feel and experience a focus on rural health as we aim to bridge healthcare gaps and ensure that all individuals, regardless of where they live, have access to the healthcare that they need. Throughout your time here, you'll be encouraged to engage in research and community service projects. These experiences not only enhance your education, but also contribute to the well-being of the communities that we serve. You'll have an opportunity to make a real difference, to be a part of something greater than yourself, and to leave a lasting legacy of positive change. Now more than ever, the university and the medical school are demonstrating a commitment to health across the state of Minnesota. St. Cloud, which had their white coat ceremony yesterday, is bringing in 24 students on a 4-year program. Duluth here, 65 students coming to our 4-year program, represent nearly a third of all the medical students that are being trained in the state of Minnesota from our one public medical school that we have in the state, representing a commitment to all corners of the state that is really backed by all the efforts of Dean Toller. So thank you so much, Dean Toller, for this. Being able to be a 4-year campus is something that has been an inspiration for years to be able to bring you guys to this place, to be able to support you across your entire time here. And I am so grateful that you're here and that we found each other and that we're going to work on this together. And so in collaboration and in the spirit to show this transformation into a four-year campus, if everybody here could chant with me Duluth 4 times on the count of 3, I'd appreciate it. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Duluth, 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 Duluth. Thank you so much. Yeah, let's clap. That's fantastic. All right, so in closing, I want to express my heartfelt gratitude to each of you for choosing to be a part of our mission. Your dedication and passion are what make our school a beacon of hope and a force for positive change. Welcome to the medical school and the Duluth campus as our first 4-year cohort of medical school students. Let us embark on this journey together with hope, determination, and a shared commitment to making a difference. Welcome. Thank you.
I'm not quite that tall. All right, well, as Dean Diebel spoke to quite passionately and eloquently, we have a strong commitment to our two-pronged mission here on this campus. And as part of these commitments, we weave them into everything that we do, from our recruitment of faculty, the selection of our medical students, the design of our curriculum, the outreach across our state, the research that contributes to the health and well-being of our communities. And this mission, which is serving the rural Minnesota communities, but also to train and serve Native American communities, is threaded through all aspects of who we are on this campus. And that commitment can be measured by our success in meeting these goals, both locally and nationally. So at this time, I'd like to invite Ms. Amanda Dion, Assistant Director for the Center for American Indian and Minority Health, to please come to the podium and introduce our drum group.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Amanda Dion. I'm a citizen of the Northern Cheyenne Tribe and also from Turtle Mountain Band of Chippewa Indians. As Dr. Nordgren said, I'm the Assistant Director for the Center of American Indian and Minority Health. It is my honor this morning to introduce the Little Horse Drum Group, who are from all across Turtle Island, as well as Terry Goodsky.
I originally lived here in Duluth, Minnesota. Little Horse was my drum group name. One of these days I'm going to have to put that down and let the younger generation run with it. But I just said hello, Anishinaabe people. I said hi, I'm Atakiapi, which means hello, my relatives in Dakota. Also, I said Tansei, hello in Cree, and Boso, which I do believe is Oneida. So I'm trying to cover as much natives in the area as I can. The song we're going to sing today, the first song we're going to sing is one of our songs that we always sang on the trail. It's a kind of an honoring song, a feel-good song. Today I brought with me my brother Dimitri Morris, also my other brother Frank Morris. These are guys that I've known. I'm not going to say my age though, but I'm just going to say many moons. Okay, so the song is just to honor everybody that's here, make everybody feel good. And the second song we're going to sing is a song that was made for my late brother, Herbie Goodsky. It's another feel-good song. It's made for him when he passed away. It was given to my family. So we're here to honor you guys. We're here to honor our future teachers. We're here to honor the staff. We're here to honor the area. We're just here to have a good time, make everybody feel good as we can as Native people. We can only do so much. But we'd just like to say thank you to UMD. Thank you to the area. Thank you to everybody that came here to encourage these young people, these young men, these young ladies to keep going in their education and to
leaders. So I would like to say miigwech, Padamian. Thank you. So, so we're gonna sing a song and just have some fun, and I hope congratulations, guys. You're stepping into your adulthood, and we need more people. We need more people like you guys to encourage our youth. We need more positive role models out there. So we'd just like to say thank you again. Thank you, MD. Thank you, staff. And this is again, miigwech.
Thank you. If you're able, please stand.
All right, we good? Okay, you may sit. All right, so we're getting closer to those white coats, but not yet. I'd now like to take a moment to welcome Dr. Jeffrey Chipman, who is our Senior Associate Dean for Undergraduate Medical Education here at our medical school. And he is also a member of the Gold Humanism Honor Society, whose leadership, Dr. Chipman's, whose leadership and contributions to our school and to medical education have guided and inspired generations of future physicians, of whom you will be among. So, Dr. Chipman, there you are.
Welcome. Today you're putting on the white coat, which is a symbol that carries a profound history and deep meaning, and a legacy of trust, care, and responsibility. The white coat is more than just a piece of clothing, and its history stretches back over a century. Prior to the late 1800s, physicians wore black when they saw patients. Even dissections were carried out in suits. And the cuffs on suit coats are known as surgeon's cuffs because they used to, and some of them still do, have buttonholes on them, and the surgeons would just undo the buttons and roll up their sleeves and do their business, which wasn't very clean. At the turn of the 20th century, home remedies gave way to the beginning of true medical and data-driven science. The germ theory of disease was emerging, and antiseptic techniques were beginning to be developed, and surgery, my field, was becoming safer. We began to understand that establishing and maintaining a clean environment could control infection and that lives could be saved as a result. Medicine was evolving into a scientific profession, and with that transformation came a change in how physicians were seen by the public and in how they saw themselves. The white coat was adopted from the laboratories of scientists. It symbolized cleanliness, purity, and a commitment to the scientific method, and was an outward expression of the shift toward modern evidence-based medicine. By the early 20th century, the white coat had become the standard uniform for physicians, symbolizing trust, authority, and the pursuit of knowledge. But the white coat is more than just a symbol of science. It represents a commitment to the values that must underpin the practice of medicine, values like compassion, integrity, and respect. These are the values that define the true physician, and they are the values that you will carry with you as you embark on this journey. Dr. Arnold and his wife Sandra Gold and their colleagues at Columbia University recognized the growing need to balance scientific expertise with humanistic care. In 1998, they established the Arnold P. Gold Foundation with their friends, an organization that honors and fosters humanistic values in medicine through the nurturing and tradition of training caring, compassionate physicians. In 1993, 2 years after I started medical school, they began the first white coat ceremony at Columbia University. And in 1995, when I graduated, I was honored to receive the Gold Humanism Award for compassionate care, voted by my colleagues and classmates. As you put on your white coat today, you're not only stepping into a tradition of scientific rigor and medical expertise, you're stepping into a tradition of humanism, a tradition that values the sacred bond between doctor and patient. The white coat is a reminder that your patients will look to you not just for answers, but for compassion and understanding. They will trust you to guide them through some of the most vulnerable moments of their lives. Today's ceremony is not just about receiving a white coat, it is about embracing the responsibilities that come with it. As you move forward in your medical education, let this coat remind you of the dual responsibilities you bear to pursue medical knowledge with rigor and integrity, and to care for your patients with empathy and compassion. Welcome to the profession.
All right, and I can't help but get the thought of young fish and old fish out of my mind. I'm thinking lake sturgeon. Okay, so we are going to move more towards the fry fish and welcome another speaker to our podium to share the student perspective on the meaning of the white coat. And so I will welcome April Feist, who is a Duluth originating fourth-year medical student and a member of the Gold Humanism Honor Society, and who is recognized for her compassion, integrity, and dedication to patient-centered care. Welcome, April.
Hello, everyone. So yeah, my name's April. I'm a current fourth-year medical student applying into OBGYN. And as mentioned, I completed my first 2 years here in Duluth and really enjoyed and valued my time here. So I'm extremely honored to be back. Yeah, so I represent a member of the Gold Humanism Honor Society. This honor society is a community of peer-selected medical students and physicians who have been recognized for their compassion in patient care. It's about the human connection in healthcare, but basically, it just means that my classmates think I'm a good and kind human. So, I recently read a book. This is notable for 2 reasons. First is that, yes, you can indeed read for fun in medical school. If you would like to check out this book for yourself, it's called The Very Secret Society of Irregular Witches. What can I say? I'm a fantasy romance girly. We spend a lot of time in medical school thinking very cerebral and academic, so I prefer to spend my free time in a literary world full of magic and true love. But the second notable thing about the book is that I discovered a really impactful quote I wanted to share with you all. It says, "Niceness is all about what we do when other people are looking. Kindness, on the other hand, runs deep. Kindness is what happens when no one's watching." It goes on to say, "Niceness is good manners and stopping to give someone directions and smiling at the overworked cashier at the supermarket. These are all good things, but they have nothing to do with what's underneath. Niceness is all about what we do when other people are looking. Kindness is what happens when no one's watching." This really got me thinking about my time in medical school and how my most treasured moments have occurred when no one was watching. Someone that I think about every single day is a patient that we'll call Lucy. I was in Fergus Falls, Minnesota during my first year of medical school for our rural clinical experience. Lucy was 19 years old and in labor for her first pregnancy. She was alone and incredibly scared. I asked to spend the day on the OB floor and follow Lucy's delivery. I was holding her hand during the epidural, massaging her back through contractions, and in between explaining everything that would happen over the next hours. When it was time for the birth, there were many complications. And unfortunately, her baby was urgently transferred by helicopter to a NICU in Fargo, but Lucy had to stay behind. I'd been at the hospital for about 14 hours at this point and had clinic the next morning. But when things had settled down, I went back into Lucy's room and pulled up a chair. She was extremely emotional, distraught, confused, and feeling out of control. I began explaining everything that had happened, from what people had entered the room to why a nurse had to jump up and push on her pelvis to deliver the baby's shoulder, and what exactly a NICU even was. We talked for over an hour, just her and me, processing all she had been through. The next day, I went to check on Lucy, and her perception of her birth experience had completely changed for the better. I left that day feeling that I truly made a difference in Lucy's life. As a medical student, you often have the unique gift of time with patients, as I did with Lucy. This has created opportunities to care for people in my favorite ways. Like when I was mistaken for a nursing assistant because my white coat was off and I was feeding ice chips to my elderly patient in the emergency department. Or when I'm in the operating room holding the patient's hand as anesthesia sends them off to sleep. Medical school is really challenging, and I spend so much time feeling like I don't know literally anything. But no matter what stage of medical training you are at, you already have the skills to care for patients. You don't need an MD degree to put on a patient's socks, order them dinner from the hospital cafeteria, or listen to a treasured memory. In these moments of kindness, I know that I'm where I'm meant to be. And don't get me wrong, niceness is also great. We need niceness in our world. We are Minnesota nice, after all. And being nice often does require you to give of your time, but being kind requires you to open your heart. Being nice is what happens when you're wearing the white coat. Your preceptor is evaluating you, and others are looking. Being kind is what happens when the white coat is off. Kindness is what happens when your white coat is crumpled up in the trunk of your car, which I can neither confirm nor deny is where my white coat was until about an hour ago. And I don't mean to ruffle any feathers. A white coat is indeed a symbol of expertise and accomplishment. And honestly, I really like the pockets. But there's also power and symbolism in taking it off. It was a true honor to receive my white coat on this stage 3 years ago, but it has been one of my greatest privileges of my life to take it off and care for patients in all the little ways. At my white coat ceremony 3 years ago, I remember very distinctly sitting in your seats and looking up at all these decorated and notable medical dignitaries, educators, scientists, and doctors. And out of every single person on the stage, it wasn't the dean or the department chair that I dreamed of being one day. Instead, I looked at the fourth-year medical student who spoke and said, her. I want to be her. And today, I can genuinely say it is the most meaningful honor I have ever received because it encapsulates what I strive to bring to the world as a human and a future physician. So, I'm not saying that you have to want to be just like me when you grow up, although it is pretty great. But I do hope for all of you receiving your white coat today, that every day you dream of not only being a nice doctor, but more importantly, a kind human. Thank you.
Thank you so much, April. And I can neither confirm nor deny that that book may or may not be in my to-read list. All right, and now the part that we have all been waiting for and the cause for our gathering today, the coding ceremony. So I'm going to ask Dean Diebel to join me on stage along with Dr. Sandra Stover. Dean Diebel, if you would like to make your way over towards the coats, and I'm going to give a very brief introduction of our name reader. So after nearly 30 years of practicing as a family physician in Grand Marais, Minnesota, for which I am still chastised of stealing you from with the rest of us whenever I go visit there, Dr. Stover joined the medical school here in Duluth as an assistant professor. She embodies the values of service, community, and mentorship that we celebrate today, and is going to do us the great honor of reading the names for our inaugural 4-year cohort of Duluth students. Now, I'm also going to call up our greeters, who are Dr. Detlef Heck, the head of the Department of Biomedical Sciences, and Dr. Jennifer Pearson, who is representing the Department of Family Medicine and Biobehavioral Health on behalf of the department head, Kathy McCarty, who could not be here. So Dr. Heck and Dr. Pearson, if you would like to stage right. Anybody, theater? This way. Stand over here. They are going to have the pleasure of congratulating you and shaking your hands as you make your way across as a coded medical student. All right, and then we have a few people who are assisting us on the wings and downstage and around. So a thank you to Jenna Evans from our communications office, Sam Lockhart from our IT office, Sean Evanson and Dina Flaherty from Student Affairs, Aaron Wigg over here with admissions, and somewhere I believe is Marcy Kimball from our foundation, the University of Minnesota Foundation. I'd also like to thank 2004 alumnus Dr. Nicole Strand, who will be providing the gratitude journals from our alumni board, Mr. Wyatt Buckner for his special photography services, and Mr. Corey Holst for helping with the logistics here in the Marshall Performing Arts Center. So now, with the boring stuff over, I'm going to hand it over to Dr. Stover, and we're going to get those coats on.
Well, welcome, everybody, and thank you for that introduction, Dr. Nordgren. I think at this point, if you stand up, first row stand up, and then you'll come up as you do, as I read names, and then progress from coat to shaking hands to getting your book. Make sense? All right. Go ahead and start coming up, and our first is Justine Acosta. Dominic Ammon. Robert Anderson. Hannah Bear. Jack Ballmer. Blake Bartnick. Olivia Bogenholm. Simon Boyenge. Ryan Cady. Gunnar Carley. Jens Christensen. Nicholas Christensen. Catherine Conley. Elizabeth Crandall. Luther Crum. Madeline Danielson. Ian DeRoff. Amy Diedrich. Amanda Dolezal. Amanda Fowler. Jonah Gierman. Jeb Green. Madeline Guler. Tyler Halpert. Kale Hendricks. Ava Hill. Sierra Hill. Hunter Hills. Lily Holtz. Sarah Haudeshell. Nikolai Hutari. Paige Krasowski. Nathaniel Karski. Stephanie Kiefer. Sophie Lemure. Alex Lindgren. Madison Mainger. Lauren Marshall. Peyton McCullough. Carson Mailing. Jada Nelson. Dane Nelson. Roman Parpart. Alexandra Prokosh. Ian Ross. Avery Schaefer. Matthew Schell. Carly Schmidt. Peyton Schultz. Tessa Schumann. Katie Sherman. Jared Scheip. Henry Sluka. Casey Smith. Jacob Steinbach. Christian Thingvold. Adrian Thompson. Andrew Tischer. Gracie Treptow. Rachel Trusty. Lauren Trigstead. Jessica Vedbratton. Marissa Versich. Nicholas Whiteman. Andrew Wilner.
All right, well, we're finishing up the pictures. It's my honor to now introduce our keynote speaker, Dr. Raymond Christensen. He is the Associate Dean for Rural Health at the University of Minnesota Medical School here on our Duluth campus. Dr. Christensen is a family physician and he has devoted his career to caring for rural communities across Minnesota and to ensuring that the next generation of physicians is prepared to do the same. He has been a leader in advancing rural medical education, creating pathways that bring students into rural practice, and working tirelessly to strengthen healthcare access in underserved areas of our state. Here on the Duluth campus, Dr. Christensen has been instrumental in shaping programs that reflect our land-grant mission and our responsibility to the people of Minnesota. He brings to this work not only decades of clinical experience, but also a deep passion for mentorship and for inspiring students to see medicine as both a profession and a calling of service. So please join me in welcoming Dr. Raymond Christensen.
Good morning. I'd like to think that my voice echoes my many rural colleagues, and I appreciate this opportunity to represent them and to represent the university as we welcome you into medicine. Entering class of 2025, welcome to medicine. Indigenous and rural America need you. You have been resilient and traveled a grueling, tough, and financially and personally challenging journey leading to today. Congratulations on being accepted into medical school. We are thrilled that you are here. Family and friends, we welcome and thank you for sharing this special day and supporting your student in their career journey. They have chosen a long and rigorous education and career pathway. From time to time, your loving and caring support may be necessary as they deal with the stresses of medical education and practice. Important sources for this support include, of course, family and friends, as well as community, spiritual community, mentors, and personal care. Members of the class of 2029, thank you for choosing to dedicate your lives to the care of others. By choosing the Duluth campus, you demonstrate commitment to aid in fulfilling our missions of Indigenous and rural health and supporting our land-grant responsibilities to the state of Minnesota. Your contributions to medicine and society will be many and noteworthy. In donning the white coat, we celebrate with you your entry into and acceptance of the joys and rigors of medicine. Make no mistake, medicine changes our lives beginning today with the donning of the white coat and accepting the weight and those responsibilities of medicine. When I entered medical school, we did not have white coats. We went and bought one, I think, somewhere. For me, the rite of passage was gross anatomy. And for some of the older physicians, it'd be interesting to see what their thoughts were. But it was at that point we passed through the portal, if you will, into medicine, and we were different. The white coat signifies that same thing for you today. Medicine does change our lives. To live long and serve well, we must take care of ourselves and our families, as well as patients and community. We need to stay current and engaged. Caring for yourself is vital. It starts now. Don't let it get out of hand. You will be faced with the joy of a birth, the tragedy of death. You can go from hot to cold, room to room. Things change very quickly. You don't have time to process, and you're going to need time to do that. The imposter syndrome is going to plague you a little bit as you acquire new levels of responsibility. What's important in all of this is learn your limits, establish your boundaries, and learn how to address and change both. Remember the importance of care of mind and body, of spirit, the importance of sleep and exercise, and balancing work and play as you care for others. This is your life. Take care of yourself and make time for these endeavors. But remember that in medicine, time gets mixed up. And a lot of times that you had prepared for personal care is going to end up being work time also. So you've got to make room for all of these changes that come into your life and into your practice. Also remember, your education is never complete. It outdates and must constantly be renewed and honed. You need to find ways of doing that on a continual basis. Welcome again to the University of Minnesota Medical School, and thank you for choosing the Duluth campus, where we have a proud history of Indigenous and rural training. Your experience here will be enhanced by participation in our programs, which will enrich your chosen practice regardless of specialty and practice location. It will be an important part of what you are. I applied to medical school to be a GP, a general practitioner. In 1972, I was a brand new GP. That year, Dr. Greg Peterson and I formed a new practice. That was the same year that the School of Medicine Duluth was formed, and they came calling, and I don't think we were asked, I think we were assigned to precept students at that point, and it's been that way probably ever since. So this year, your class for me is the completion of the dream that really hasn't been completed. Duluth, a 2-year school, becoming a 4-year school. You will become our first 4-year graduates at the Duluth campus. Where we train is important also. It actually becomes part of your practice DNA and our personalities and our individuality. As a picture is worth 1,000 words, the environment where you train provides a continuous learning video. You're in that environment all the time. And that community provides a curriculum for you also. All important, all will be part of you. And whether you're a neurosurgeon at Stanford University or you're practicing Baudette, Minnesota, wherever you might be, those pieces are an important part of your DNA. Remember, our greatest educators are our patients. They teach continually. Each is a new book. Every time they come in, it's a new book, it seems sometimes too. Each requires our focus, our interviewing skills, our physical exam skills, using both to create differentials and plans, formulated based on our experiential and didactic knowledge. Please always remember that the most important medical instrument lies in the ear, between the earpieces on your stethoscope. That's the hard part of medical education, is getting to the point where you can do that. You worked hard to enter medical school today. You will work hard in your education. Finally, you will work hard in your practice. Medicine requires labor. Remember that the practice of medicine is a privilege provided by societal institution, a privilege that must be constantly and continually earned and honed. It is not an entitlement. So here we are today. Where will we be tomorrow? I do not know, and neither do you. While in Duluth, you will receive a core University of Minnesota Medical School education, a curriculum on all 3 of our campuses. But in addition, you will enjoy a focus of the Duluth mission based on training rural and indigenous sites with our indigenous and rural experts and specialists. They're all over the state of Minnesota. They're all very good. These training experiences will serve you well in your chosen medical career. In addition, you will enjoy observing and absorbing the community knowledge at these training sites. You will be learning in medical school what we teach you: basic science, basic clinical. Hopefully in that process, helping you to discern in what you want to be. Residency is where you will prepare for practice in your chosen specialty. Where will you practice? Your choice is imprinted by your training. Please reflect and learn from your time with us in rural and/or indigenous America. And one other thought is, remember, it's our responsibility to care for our teachers, and it's also important that we take care of our mentors and to teach and mentor who follow. We need you to teach. When you assume practice, please take medical students, please teach. The imposter syndrome was there in 1972, and I've survived, so you can do it. You have earned your white coat. Welcome to medicine. Wear it responsibly. Serve with pride. Enjoy the journey. Welcome, and thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you, Dr. Christensen. We are going to bring our program to a full circle close here with the White Coat Oath. So I'd like to now invite Dr. Ana Nunez, Vice Dean for Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion at the University of Minnesota Medical School, to come read the oath with our medical students. Vice Dean Nunez is a nationally recognized educator and a leader whose vision and inclusive leadership really has helped to shape an academic environment where every voice can thrive. So you will find the oath printed in your program. I would ask that the students reflect on their own personal oaths as they begin their journey. And for all of our physicians in the audience and on stage, you may also join along in reciting the oath. Please stand as you read.
The oath for new physicians. In the tradition of Hippocrates and the people through the ages who have dedicated their lives to the art and science of medicine, I make the following pledge. The respect and dignity of patients and the confidential nature of our relationship are foremost in my service to them. I will value their lives as I value my own. I acknowledge my limitations and need for continued education. I will seek the knowledge and inspiration of my colleagues, friends, and patients. My work shall be dedicated to improving the quality of life for those who seek my assistance. I will honor the wishes and needs of the patient, recognizing that death is not always an enemy. I will do no harm. I will strive always to improve the practice of medicine, to provide a level of care that is ethical, moral, and just. I expect the same standards from my colleagues and will not tolerate their indifference, greed, or unethical behavior. My profession is an honored one. I will not violate the trust society has placed in me by allowing race, religion, sexual orientation, or social standing to affect my judgment or ability to take care of patients. I will be humble. I will consider the tools of my profession to be knowledge, compassion, and patience. I will share these tools freely with my colleagues and patients alike. I shall do my utmost to provide the vulnerable members of society the care and attention they need to assure their health, dignity, and protection. I see all life as sacred. In the presence of my teachers, my family, and my friends, I will make these promises solemnly and freely. With this oath, I willingly assume the rewards and responsibilities of a physician. We're almost there. We're almost there in terms of closing. Let me just share just a few comments before we sort of head out and continue the celebration and just uplift a few things that we've heard. From Dean Tolar, freeze frame this moment. Think about who's here and how you feel, and freeze frame the moments of your wins and celebrate them. We've heard about, from Dr. Chipman, getting in touch in terms of compassion and reflecting about how we need to sort of be for ourselves and for our patients. From April, upregulating kindness, and sort of maybe there is no sort of overdue in terms of that. It's important in terms of kindness because, fun fact, we're all human. We'll have great days, and we'll have days where we need some help, and being kind to ourselves and to each other makes the difference in terms of moving forward. And certainly from Dr. Christensen about balance and self-care. Sounds easy, but hard to do, but important to work on. Your journey is an exciting one. I think about sort of pictures, I've seen or been up here in terms of Lake Superior when there is a storm whipping and there's huge waves and it's kind of scary. And there'll be days like that. Then there'll be other days where it's calm and quiet and beautiful and reflective, and you think about those winds. All of them are part of your journey. Know, as you've heard, everybody here and a whole bunch of folks you have yet to meet are all in your corner, just waiting to help you thrive and grow to become the physicians we know you will be. And we're looking forward to sort of joining you in terms of that journey. So please join me with another round of applause for our class of 2029.
Now, I promised at the rehearsal yesterday that there was something in the pocket of each of your white coats, and not to peek when you were trying them on in advance. So, at this time, you may now check the right pocket of your white coats for a special message of congratulations. I'd like to thank all of you for joining us today. We invite you to head back across campus to our medical school if you would like to take your guests for a tour, and if the weather has held, an opportunity for personal photos in the beautiful courtyard outside. One final reminder for our students to please remain in the auditorium as we are going to take our class photo here on stage at the conclusion. And now, one last time, I invite Amanda Dion back to the podium.
Again, it is my honor to introduce the Little Horse Drum Group to close us out in a good way, as in honor of the original inhabitants of this land, as well as this important ceremony this morning. And again, I'll invite Terry Goodsky to share a few remarks about the song.
I'd just like to sing an honor song. It's a family song. It was given to my family in '97. It's in honor of my brother, who was a U.S. Army veteran. So it was given to my family, and we only sing it on really special occasions when we honor somebody that has done something great in the community. And I would just like to say thank you. And we would like to honor at this time our future doctors that are making the world a better place. As I said before, we need more positive youth in the world. For what's going on right now, we need to look to our younger generation to carry on what we do today. And as the doctors up here, our faculty, these guys are going to bring us into the next generation. I'd just like to honor them and give you guys a little encouragement and some support. We can never say, as said, for our veterans, we can never thank you enough for the lives that you're going to save, for the people that you're going to help. We would just like to say miigwech, Damia, and thank you again for inviting us. We come here every year. We do our best to make sure that you guys feel good when you leave here about getting your white coats and becoming doctors. And I'd like to thank, as I said before again, my brother Frank, my brother Dimitri, for always showing up, backing me up, no matter what I do, even when I get in trouble. They always back me up. And I get in trouble a lot, so. But it's always good that these guys always got my back no matter what. And I hope you guys have the same support, from our faculty up here. These young ladies, well, I can't say young, but they're young at heart. And I always look for them for guidance, no matter what. I always look to you, to your faculty, to your elders, as we do before us. Look to the people that came before you. No question is too small, no question is dumb. Always look to the people that came before you and ask them. We may not have all the right answers, but we will try to guide you in the right direction. So thank you.
You're probably like, why is she back at the podium? Longest Minnesota goodbye. All right, thank you for joining us all today. Miigwech to the Little Horse Drum Group. Students, please make your way to the stage for your class photo. Thank you again.